Writing and illustrating my shifter story, Marked, has forced me to learn how to draw wolves. I wouldn't say I couldn't draw animals at all before, but it was definitely something that I was not that comfortable with. I could sometimes draw a wolf. Originally, when I started this project, honestly, I didn't do like all the character sheets and everything people did that, maybe you're supposed to. I don't know. I drew like one wolf and I was like, I'm ready. I was feeling pretty comfortable with myself. So when I started, I expected this to go not insanely well, but okay ish. I'm not saying perfect, just okay ish. But I also expected myself to have like a lot of struggles because, like I said, I don't really draw wolves. And honestly, when I started getting into marketing again, I was kind of rusty in drawing in general. So a lot of my wolves look different. Like the earlier on drawings are actually my later drawings that I decided to work on towards the end. So a lot of my later artwork is actually my earlier artwork. I'd say the thing that was wrong with my first wolf was that I I couldn't find good references. Like, how you have a pose that you want, and then you usually go on Pinterest and you scroll through Pinterest for like 5,000 years. Well, that's what I did for my first wolf drawing of my main character. I actually ended up using a reference pose that was a cat or like a bobcat or something. I don't really fully remember what it was, but it was a cat. And I just shifted it from there. I also had a 3D model of a wolf that I was also kind of using, but I couldn't get like the full understanding of how to draw the wolf from that 3D model. I don't know. I was struggling with it, but the cat reference helped. Even if even if it's not a wolf, I was like, I think I can fudge it. The faces are definitely the hardest part, like no doubt. Uh like I said, I used cat reference for the one first pose. I didn't use cat references afterward. I used wolf poses and like wolf references, and I looked like through all these wolves. But I had a tendency to draw snouts really like short. So I think a lot of when I was first trying to draw some of the wolves, or specifically her, my main character, she had a short snout that was even more prominent in my cover image of her originally. Her snout was just really just squashy, and it made her look kind of cat-like. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think anybody directly would look at her and be like she was a cat, but it was enough where I was like, maybe cat. And I've gone through way too many times trying to fix her snout on the cover. I just fixed it again. Um yeah, so it's definitely the face and all these angles. I feel like I could kind of fudge the body anatomy a little bit for the wolves, but the face has been a struggle. I think the biggest change with like my wolves in Marked is probably that I got better. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of what the whole video is about. But like, if someone was like, "Hey, can you draw a wolf?" I think I could draw a wolf. I still need a reference, but I could draw a wolf. I think, and I wouldn't feel too cringy about it. At the early beginning stage, I feel like I didn't understand wolf anatomy at all. Besides the factor that, there's four legs and there's the body. But now I can kind of see, like, a little bit more of, like, how, like, the neck and the head fit together a little better with the actual body, and, like, how the legs are jointed a little bit more than I would have previously. What I learned the most from this project is, I'm not the first one to say this, but projects really do help you to learn better. Like, if your goal is to draw wolves, you're going to get better at drawing wolves. And I know people say practice, but that's never really worked well for me. I don't like practicing. I learned to draw because I was like, I want to draw something. I'm just going to keep trying to draw the thing. So this project has really forced me to have to learn to draw wolves, because I was like, well, I'm making a shifter story and my main character, she's a wolf. I have to get somewhere. So I think it's actually pretty beneficial. I've heard other people say, drawing comics have made them get better at anatomy in general and all these other things they wouldn't have originally gotten better at. So I think that is the thing that I learned from having to learn to draw wolves in this project. And yeah, I'm kind of happy with my wolves. I feel like again, many artists, I have like a really strong like perfectionist in me that's like, you gotta fix all the wolves. All the wolves have to be fixed from the beginning to now. Fix all the wolves. I don't think we always have to go back and correct everything. My wolves are okay. I think my wolves are okay, and I'm happy that I've improved with them. I don't think I'm perfect at them. I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm 100% satisfied with the way all my wolves look in marked, but I also feel like I have done a pretty good job. And yes, I have gone back and fixed a few. Like I said, all my wolves, even the same character, even my main character, she looks a little different in a lot of the drawings. But I do think she looks, I have the base of her down where I'm like, you can tell who she is. You're not going to look at her and go, oh my gosh, the whole new character. I feel pretty confident about that. So, am I happy with my wolves? Kinda. Which I feel like is a pretty big deal for me. From going from, I can't draw wolves at all, to drawing, yeah, I'm kind of happy with them. Well, that's the end of my video. That's the end of my little questions. My story is coming out soon. Again, I said it's marked. I've probably said it way too many times, but I'm sponsoring myself. It will be coming out soon. I am almost done. Almost. I got couple other things I gotta finish up, but it's coming out. It's about a female wolf shifter who she has to leave her tribe for a little bit because she gets injured, and she ends up finding her human mate, who is a very tired cafe manager. So, if you're interested, it'll be coming out soon. Like I said, it's a storybook. It's not really comic. There's a lot of art though. There's a lot of words. Yeah. Give me a follow if you want some updates. It'll be out soon.